I'm John Batchelor, JohnBatchelorShow.com. Simon Constable's here with me. And we're discussing the end of cars in America. Well, not quite all the cars. Now, Simon, what are these cars?
These are toy cars I got from Toys R Us in Times Square, and they're very pretty.
They are, and they're fun to play with. And they were manufactured probably in China, but they're here in the United States, and they're perfectly acceptable for presents for grown-up boys or small boys. So, what's wrong with manufacturing cars in China and using them in America?
Well, if they're this sort of cars, nothing, apparently, and it should be that way with Detroit too, but apparently Congress doesn't really want that.
No, Congress wants to save a car company that doesn't quite work, even though that car company, General Motors, is now closing 20 of its plants as of January, laying all off those workers, cutting back its production by perhaps as much as half, going to make less cars than Honda or Toyota in 2009, and is going to get money from Congress. Now, is that good business?
It doesn't seem to me to be good business. I mean, one of the things we talked about this evening, and we heard from people, was that, you know, Chapter 11 went out the window because the management was very stubborn, and so was the union. And the risk now is that it goes straight to Chapter 7, which is a liquidation, and you have no company, and basically all the cars wiped off the...
What we have now is also a crisis of confidence in the White House, because we heard tonight from several of our reporters, Thaddeus McCotter, Larry Kudlow, John Tamney, Aaron Task, and Dan Henniger of the Wall Street Journal, that the White House panicked or moved in a way that no one can explain. I asked Dan directly, how does Dick Cheney, the conservative Republican, mention Herbert Hoover and then use TARP money to rescue General Motors?
But you got it. He panicked. He panicked. And, you know, who can blame him in many ways? I mean, it's not surprising, really.
Well, what we need is more than panic. We need leadership. Now, right now, what we know is that Chrysler's gone. You agree? Chrysler's gone. It's just a hedge fund, and it's looking for to back out.
Maybe the brands might remain, but
General Motors is shutting 20 plants. Ford probably survives.
Yep.
All right. Honda, Toyota, Nissan, all with manufacturing plants in important Republican states like Tennessee and Texas. Okay, they're going to survive, but they're going to lose money for a while too. They're cutting their production back.
Absolutely.
So my conclusion from all this is that there's one sure way to do transportation in America in 2009 in this present regime. Yes, you see. Now, why is it safe? It doesn't cost me any gas money.
Absolutely.
I get where I want to go. I don't get aggressive, never get aggressive on a bicycle. No. And Detroit has nothing to do with it. Absolutely nothing to do with it. General Motors has nothing to do with my helmet.
And I'll be riding my motorcycle at 78 miles to the gallon. That's pretty good too.
I'm John Batchelor with Simon Constable, and this is JohnBatchelorShow.com. Good night.